dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the Terran's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hey friends, welcome in. Hopefully you guys are having a good night. Hey friends, welcome. Oh. Hey. Looking through all the free questions right now. Hey Kayla, welcome in. It's been a while for you. Just making sure I'm not skipping over anyone's questions. If anyone has a yes, no that they would like to ask, all you have to do is just post it in the chat. IJ, thank you so much for liking the stream. Christmas was really good. We had a great day. My husband had to work, so we did have to not rush, but we were on like a strict time crunch. We had about an hour worth of travel, and we also like wanted to spend at least 3 hours at both families. So we just kind of started with my sister, which we normally do, and then we went down to his mom, which was convenient because his mom is closer to his job. So we had about 2.5, 3 hours with each family. Definitely would have preferred not having to rush it, but we did the best that we could. And hopefully everyone else had a good Christmas. New Year's plans. Well, my husband's working. He works for a security company, so they're 24/7 surveillance. So he has to be present on holidays, unfortunately. But he is able to get off a little bit early. So I think we're gonna have one of our nieces over to kind of hang out, because normally we get her around Christmas, New Year's time, and we'll probably have her over the overnight. And then for New Year's Eve itself, we will probably go to my sister's house because she's just down the street, and do like a game night and kind of hang out until the ball drops. Maybe like do some appetizers. I don't know. We don't do anything crazy for New Year's, but very family oriented these days with holidays. Hopefully you guys are having a good week. We are doing free readings. Yes, about to get started on those now. Yeah, on over the weekend, my brother and his boyfriend were in town, and we played this game that I introduced to them. It's a game called Werewolf, and it's what inspired the show The Traitors, if anyone's seen that. But a lot of people know the game Among Us, and it's kind of like that game. And it's called Werewolf, and it was a lot of fun. It's like a social deduction game. It's like Clue or Murder Mystery. You have to figure out who the imposter, aka the werewolf, is. It's a lot of fun. Hey, Dodger. Lethal Company is based on that too. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. My sister said that my intuition was so on point. She ended up being where the werewolf in one of the games, and it's like I couldn't see it with my eyes because I she's like, you put so much trust in me, like you trusted me with your whole heart. And she was like, however, your intuition was spot on. She was like, because you kept saying things and doing things where it was like your intuition knew it was me, but you just refused to believe it. And like at one point, she was the werewolf and she murdered me. And like right when she pointed at me to murder me, I was like, oh no, because I could just feel that someone just murdered me. And they both were like freaking out, my brother and her, the moderator, because they knew. And then I had said, are we both 100% sure that Rachel is the werewolf? And Rachel was like, 100% sure that I am. And I was like, oh, I mean, you're not the werewolf. And I was like, but maybe you are because my intuition just said that you were. And I ended up being right. It was just like a lot of weird things that had happened. It was like my body knew it was her, but I just didn't want to believe it because that's my sister. She shouldn't lie to me. But that's the game. So they said that they had a lot of fun and they said they want it to be a part of their routine game night. So you guys should look into it. It's fun. All right. Kaija Payne. Will my husband reach out to me again in the next 3 days? I have a yes. Judgment. Caleb Banks. I've been good, girl. I've been good. Did you ask a yes no question, Kayla? I can't tell. Sisters, any good news coming soon? I have a yes. I have the Page of Cups. Shar. Does G think of me? No. The Hanged Man. Margaret. Yes. The Magician. Mariana. Yes. We have Page of Wands. Mature. Yes. Three of Wands. Purgati. Two of Swords, maybe. I'm leaning towards a yes. Queen of Cups. Okay, Kayla. I got you, girl. So this is for Kayla. I have a no. Five of Pentacles. Oh, lockdown protocol, IJ. There's a lot of games like it. It's like they're all very similar to each other. My understanding is that Mafia and Werewolf, though, are like one of the firsts. I could be wrong. But if you guys like mystery games like that and like social deduction and like games that kind of play on your psyche and you have to use your intuition and stuff, watch the show The Traitors. You guys will be hooked. It's a lot of fun. Sweeter, maybe. maybe leaning towards a yes. I don't have a confident yes for you, sweeter. We had the Seven of Swords, I believe it was. But I think I could say most likely, and I have the King of Cups for that. IJ. Yes, Two of Cups. Sweeter. Oh, I don't know why that's on the screen. Theana. I have a no for Eight of Cups for Sienna. Positive Bear. Queen of Swords, yes. Positive Bear. Thank you guys for liking the live stream. I appreciate it. Bake. Yes. King of Wands. Kashish Sharma. Yes. Page of Wands. I have a yes. 10 of Cups, Dodger. Bria, maybe. You know what? I'm going to say yes because I have this star. I do think so. I do, yes. I don't know if you were consuming Henry's, thoughts and everything like that all day long, but I do think there was a thought about you. Yeah. We couldn't win a game at all with your intuition. You're funny, mature. You're welcome, everyone. Yeah, it was really funny. Because I looked at my husband and I was like, I don't think you're the werewolf, but I was like, I don't think you're just a normal villager. I was like, I think you have a special ability. So when it came to being night and we were gonna be murdered, as soon as my sister pointed to me to murder me, I was like, oh no. And then I said out loud to my husband, I was like, I know you're the witch. You need to save me. And because I couldn't see anything, but I just knew that my husband was the only one that could save me. I just felt it. And he did. So we woke up, everyone woke up the next quote unquote morning. It was the morning round, or about to be the round table. And my brother was like, you were murdered, but you were also saved. So I got to stay in the game. And as soon as he was like, you were saved, I looked at my husband. I was like, thank you, honey, for saving me. And he just started laughing. And at the end of the game, I was like, so were you the witch? Did you actually save me? And he's like, yeah, I was the witch and I saved you. And my sister was like, it was crazy. She was like, there was 3 or 4 things you did, Amanda, that you knew something was up. So it was a lot of fun. But for the first 2 rounds, I was the moderator. So I was the host. So I could see everything. I was the one that did the interviews and everything to find out what each person wanted to be. And I assigned the roles. And then I carried the game out. But my brother at the end wanted me to be able to play. So he said he would be the moderator. So he became the moderator. So I only played 1 round, but everyone said they had a lot of fun. I did have sister loyalty. I did. I was blinded by my love for her. She just was way too good at lying. Hey SB, welcome in. Sweeter says he invited me over yesterday, but unfortunately had to cancel. Dang. Oh, he hasn't said anything. Okay. You're welcome, Positive Bear. IJ, thank you for the donation. Let me actually pull up my donations real quick. All right, let me answer these last 2 questions and then we are going to move on to donations. All right, this is for White Chick. I have a yes, Page of Cups. This talks about like emotions and love. So you might be doing a lot better mentally, emotionally next year in 2025, and also maybe more creative and maybe better luck in love. Linda. Linda. I'm getting a not yet. No, right now. Eight of Swords. I don't think this is the time. I don't think that this person isn't considering proposing to you. I just don't think they're there yet. All right, it looks like a couple donations came in, so let me post the order. You're welcome, Linda. SB donated, but want to change the third one to a mini. Are we doing 3 minis for you, SB? What are we doing? Break it down for me, please. Oh, hey, Joanna. Yes. Yes, you did. I'm sorry. I kept the donation list open a little longer tonight, too. But yeah, you did miss it. I'm sorry. That sounds good. I'll be on tomorrow. So definitely check back tomorrow for New Year's live stream. I probably won't be able to be on as long as I was on Christmas Eve, but I'm going to do my best. BOGO and a mini. Okay, BOGO and a mini. Oh my goodness. Okay. Did you send your questions via Instagram or are you going to post them here? Oh, I see. Okay. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you, SB. So crazy. So when I was, well, first of all, you ask about previously, you would ask a couple of times about the guy that starts with the letter P. And then you've since broken that off and moving forward to something else. But I had never heard that person's name before. And that's not surprising because I feel like you talk to a lot of people who have interesting and different names. But I had never heard the person's name that started with a P ever. that I'm aware of. And I'm watching a show right now, and that name was on that show a couple of times, except for it was spelled Pey instead of Pay, but everything else was spelled the same. And I was like, that is so beyond crazy, because I feel like you've brought it now into my awareness and now I'm noticing it. But I've never heard of that name before. And I was like, I've got to tell her. I know. It's not a common name. All right. BOGO 1. You've never seen it besides with him? Yeah, it was on a show I was watching. So crazy. Let me see. Let me see if I can figure out where this person's ethnicity was. Oh, so he was Turkish. Born in Mersin, Mediterranean coast of southern Turkey. So anyways, it's interesting. You post your mini here. Okay, thank you. Um, something is making me feel like he is going to want to put himself back out there for you. Like, I think that he's like, oh God, here we go. Like, kind of wondering if he's putting himself at risk right now, but willing to do so because he, I guess, is liking where this is going with you. Something tells me he's got burned before in the past, and he's kind of made this like pact with himself that unless he really sees something serious with someone, he's not really going to put himself out there. And I think with you, he is really feeling that way. So there's the expression out of the frying pan and into the fire, meaning like you're going from one thing that turned out a certain way into something else that could potentially be just as bad or worse. And so that's kind of the mindset. And I don't necessarily think he's looking at you pessimistically. Like, I don't necessarily think he's going, oh, this is a bad thing. I think he thinks this is a good thing. But I think he's also keeping in the forefront of his mind that something did turn sour before when it started off really well. And I think he just is like really hoping that this goes in a different direction. I think he would like to see more progress from this connection as well. I think he wants to see more what it can be, because I do have the Four of Cups, which indicates to me that his focus is on you. And I don't know if he's necessarily entertaining other people. I would say he's primarily focused on your connection. But I think that he wants to see things moving a little bit faster. There seems to be some feeling of, let's get this going. Let's get this show on the road. But as far as his feelings for you, we have the Two of Cups. And so that is indicating to me like a lot of like romantic and like a crush, like romantic, fun, loving feelings. It indicates, potential soulmates from his perspective or compatibility, feeling like he could be in a relationship with you. You guys could be a couple. That there's definitely connection here, and he could see this going from what he understands about you. He could see this going pretty far if you guys both are like on the same page. And he feels like victorious, he feels excited, he feels like he's really found someone who meets his challenge. Like, I guess I don't know if he's the type of person that just gets bored really easily, but he kind of feels like, I don't know. I'm getting like he's like, I'm only going to stick my neck out on the line if I really feel like I've got something going with this person. And for whatever reason, he feels like you got it going. Like, he feels like you're worthy of him putting himself at risk. He also is like showing that you could have like a very like sharp tongue, SB, not in a bad way. Again, it's like witty banter, witty humor. Like, I think you make him work for it. You don't like put yourself out there completely, and I think he likes that. He feels like he's not really sure what to expect with you, but he's liking the chase that you provide. And I think that he really wants to like dig in further and see what's up underneath all of those layers. Let's take a look at where does he want things to head? Where does he want things to head? Yeah, isn't that fun? I think it's a lot of fun. You're coming through as the Nine of Cups for him again. So I think he has a lot of what is the word? What is the word I'm trying to say? It's like he has a lot of hope invested in this connection. Like, you guys are talking every day, I think. It feels like, I'm so sorry I keep yawning. It feels like I feel like he wants to pick up the momentum. Like, if you guys aren't talking every day, which I think you might be, or at least touching base pretty frequently, I feel like he's just like, though, I'm ready to get the ball rolling. So I feel like from his perspective, where he would want things to go eventually would be into a relationship with you, because it's almost like he's saying that she checks like a lot of boxes for me. So the Nine of Cups indicates that he feels like fulfilled. Like, he feels like you're really, what's another expression? Like, he feels like there's a lot that you bring to the table that equals what he's looking for. I feel like he ultimately wants a relationship. I think ultimately he'd want marriage, actually. What he's showing is, I want an easy relationship. Like, I want a relationship where we get on like gangbusters, like we get on well, we really just love being in each other's company and spending time together, and we don't get sick of each other no matter how long we are together. I want to be able to look forward to her and being near her and around her. I don't want to be with someone that I get sick of. Like, I want to just like always enjoy my time around this person and crave this person's love. And I feel like that's what he's like trying to get. And there's something about you that makes him hopeful that he could achieve that level of what it is that he desires. Now, it is indicating to me that he feels this is new, but so it's hard to say for sure, but we all have our own intuition. Like sometimes we just kind of know when we know, and it's hard to say, like explain it because we're like, how can we feel this way? Because it's just so new. But like, I get such a good feeling about this person, and that's kind of what he's saying about you. Hey, James. Um, so I think he just doesn't want to be a burden to you. I think he wants to feel desired by you. I think he wants to feel this is like mutually beneficial and mutually invested in. I think he wants transparency. Don't be sneaky around him. Until trust is built, don't even give him any surprises. Like, I don't think he's going to like that. He is paying very much attention to, like, he's observing you basically as he should, and as you should be observing him and how he's moving as well. Hey, Jazz. Okay, James, that sounds great. But he's just paying very close attention to you right now at this time, SB. But yeah, I think he wants a relationship. I think he wants marriage eventually. James, I have your question. Hey, Galatians. Oh, NYC, cool. Hello, welcome in. So my free list is closed. It closed about 20 minutes ago, maybe a little longer. So unfortunately I can't do any free reads, but if you want to donate $5, I can do a yes no for you, or you can wait until you see me again, which will be tomorrow. um SB, your person wants a clear conscience more than anything else. I think that it's taken a long time, but what I'm hearing is what comes around goes around, or what goes around comes around. I have the Wheel of Fortune, and so that indicates to me that this has a lot to do with karma. You're welcome, Galatians. Have a good night. Happy New Year. Aesthetic, hey friend, how are you? And so I think this person is starting to really understand cause and effect, like actions have consequences, and also karma. And so this person could just be leveling up consciously and feeling the need to say things that they never did before. coming through, apologizing, coming clean. Not that the Taurus expects literally anything to come of this. But I feel like the Taurus is just like, I didn't have the perspective then that I do now. And now I feel like I need to tell you, I need to get it off my chest, whether you accept it, acknowledge it, whatever. I need to like tell you how I'm feeling. Now, this could be a little crack. It could be a little like, um, let's open something up here if you're open to it. But I don't think he's really expecting much. I think that he just feels like he needed to come through for you in ways that he didn't in the past. And I think it's now that he's just like realizing certain aspects to himself, certain aspects to his personality, the decisions he made, the way he carried himself when it came to you. And I think that he just wants you to know that he sees it now and he gets it now. Because I have the judgment card, and this talks about like healing, and it talks about forgiveness and absolution as well. And I think that he has been feeling very conflicted even up until this point, whether or not to say something to you about it. But I think that he just felt like, you know what, I just need to. The Knight of Swords indicates that it was an impulsive decision to communicate when he did. But this is not an impulsive decision to say these things. This is something that he's been thinking about for a while and has thought about reaching out and just hasn't. And I think that he finally was like, fuck it, let me just do it right now while I have like the courage to do it. And that's how I feel like it's coming through. Now, it always indicates to me that there was always a power struggle within your connection or like some kind of dynamic where it was like, I don't want to put myself out there. Well, I don't want to put myself out there. Well, I don't want to risk myself, And so it was a lot of like just waiting on the other person. We have the Five of Swords, but that's paired with the Lovers, which indicates to me that B Taurus really does feel this strong bond to you, this strong high soul level, like high level soul connection. And I think that you're just never going to be the person in his life that like he feels he's fully satisfied your relationship. Like he feels like he's fully satisfied your connection. Like I think that you're always going to be someone where he feels like, what if? And like the Lovers here is all based on choice. It's like, yes, you're soulmates. Yes, you have a soul tie. Yes, you are highly connected, but it's the decisions that you make that have to do with like how things move forward. And so in that regard, he'll always hold a flame for you, like a candle for you, or whatever the expression is. Like I feel like you will always be the one that got away because your connection was never going to be satisfied um, unless the decision was made to be together. And so he's always going to be thinking about you in that way. And even if he ends up with someone else and you end up with someone else, he's still going to think about you like that. So I think first and foremost, he wanted connection. He wanted forgiveness. He wanted to clear his conscience. And then I think whatever came from that, he was going to make himself open and available to it, whether that was nothing at all or conversation or anything else really. There could have been some selfishness as well, in hopes that maybe the door would be opened again. But I don't really think he expected it. SB, You're so glad you moved on and learned. Well, good for him for choosing to do that, even if it was impulsive. SB, yeah. So, like, the decision in that moment to message you was impulsive, but the meaning behind the message was something he had been thinking about for a while. I think he just had like pockets of courage, and he just like once he hit one of those pockets of courage decided to actually send. But I think that this has been like something he's been kind of wagering in his mind for a while. And then he finally did it. So I'm glad that you got that. Hopefully that provides some closure to you as well. You're welcome. Have a good night, SB. Thanks for stopping in. Hey, Ari. You're good. You're good. No worries. Hopefully you're having a good night. All right, Culture, if you're here, please check in with me. Hey there. I have you down. Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you for posting. In depth insight on the current future energies towards you at work. Okay. Culture, I am getting a yes that you need to start looking for a new opportunity. It's not your anxiety getting the best of you. I asked yes or no. I got the hangman for that question. And I asked yes or no for should you move forward? And I got a yes, the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like what's happening here is that you're feeling more so out of alignment with the job that you have. The job that you have had. I feel like it's almost like it served its purpose. However, you're feeling like you're maybe like evolving out of it, growing out of it. You might have your reasons, but it's just not feeling like it's aligning with you anymore. Sometimes when your soul starts to get very uncomfortable, you're going to start feeling these like knee jerk needs to kind of get yourself out of the situation that you're in. And you may not fully understand why. You may not even be able to put your finger on it. Um, Travansky, that's an interesting thing to say in this chat. So yeah, Culture, I feel like you're kind of getting to a point where you're feeling a little bit out of alignment with the current job that you have, and you're feeling that way for a reason. And what I'm hearing is that you are going to that feeling is just going to intensify more and more and more. I don't think it's in your head. I don't think that you're having anxiety for no reason. I think truly your soul is just getting very uncomfortable, and the reason is that your higher self understands that there's a path that you're supposed to take in this life. And if you stay somewhere longer than you should be staying there, then you start getting antsy. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you're like in a waiting room. Like, imagine that your job is like a doctor's office. Okay. And you're sitting in the waiting room. Maybe when you first get there, it's fine. You wait 5-10 minutes and you're like, oh, this isn't too bad. You're working, just waiting, and you're fine. But then after you've been waiting for like 4 hours, which could be 4 years, you start to get very uncomfortable because you're like, I should have been done and gone by now. I should have been like, I shouldn't even still be here anymore. My appointment should have been over at this point. You start getting very uncomfortable because you start feeling like you're supposed to be somewhere else and you're just not supposed to be in that place anymore. And so that's, I think, what's happening here with your current climate at your job is that you were fine in the beginning. Maybe that was where you're supposed to be. But now the longer that you're there, the longer time goes on, however long it's been, you're realizing actually this isn't working for me anymore. It may not have ever worked for you, but basically that's what it is. So I do feel like the way room analogy is perfect. Thank you. I always make analogies. You all know that's the kind of reader I am. And I don't know where they come from, but they show up. And I thank spirit for those analogies. But yeah, that's what it feels like to me. It just feels like you need to be like moving on from this, looking for something that feels like it's filling your cup, feels like you're getting just as much out of it as you are putting into it with the Six of Pentacles. Also indicates to me a Four of Cups is that no matter what happens at this job, good, bad, or indifferent, it feels like it's just always going to be bad. Like you're never going to be happy at a job even if you have great perks. If the job sucks, you're never going to like it. They could offer you, $2 more an hour. They could offer you a higher salary per year, and that might satiate you for a little while. But no matter what is being offered, if it's a job that doesn't align with you, you don't like it, you don't agree with it, it doesn't align with you morally or ethically or whatever, or it doesn't feel like it's serving your purpose, it doesn't matter what you're getting paid, what the perks are, what the benefits are, it doesn't matter. It's not going to feel worth it because at some point you're going to feel that disconnect and you're never going to get back on track. It might be enough to kind of hold you over for a little while, but I just see you kind of wanting something else. And I just don't ever, it's kind of like, an ex. It's like once you've been there, done that, like gone through the relationship, it's never going to be any different. Maybe they can bring you flowers sometimes, but other than that, the relationship is the same. You're unhappy. It's like any other relationship. If you're not getting out of it what you're putting into it, it's not going to feel like you ever want to go back and experience it again. You need to just move on to something new. And I think that's where you're kind of at right now with this connection. So in terms of future energies, let's see. Hey, I speak. Welcome in. We have the 10 of Cups. So you do have a work, career, something that aligns with you just perfectly. 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups. We also have the Moon here, which indicates it may be something or like an avenue that you have not done before, like something that is completely maybe your resume has built you with the qualifications for, but it could be an industry or a route that you've never taken or an industry that you've never been in before. Now, it doesn't everything you've learned up until this point, all of those tools can be translated over to a different career, of course. Everything that we learn, we can harness that and use for future career endeavors. But something is telling me that your alignment, like your happiness and your work, has to do with something unrelated than what you've already previously done. So if you want to get on that fast track, you might want to start looking at something different than what you've been doing. If you want to ease yourself into it, then think of something that you've been doing, but do something like adjacent. So, for example, adjacent to physical therapy would be maybe being a masseuse. Adjacent to therapy might be being a counselor or a life coach. Do you get what I mean? Like maybe something similar, but just a little different. Yes, I speak. Donations are open. So culture, I definitely feel like you are on the right track. You're on the right path. Set yourself up for success. Obviously, don't leave a job if you don't feel financially prepared to do so. But I would go ahead and start getting a move on with looking at other options for yourself, so that way you can get yourself out of the situation that you're currently in. Just don't linger too long where you're at now. If it's within your control is my advice, because I feel like you have perfect alignment with your future, in terms of your work and your career. And I think that you can get there, and you can get there faster if you don't stay here more, or I guess longer than you need to. Hey, Fancy, my free list is over. If you want to donate $5 for yes, no, you can. We're working on donations right now. Culture, let me know if I answered your question or if you wanted to add on to your reading. You're welcome, Culture. All right, next up we have IJ. IJ, we have you for an in-depth reading. So feel free to post your question whenever you're ready. Hey, IJ. 1111. All right. How have your last interactions made her feel? I speak. I'm doing great, actually. I hope you're doing okay. I gotta admit, I'm a little excited to have an extra day off this week because yesterday was like the first day I was home all day long with no other responsibilities except for me, myself, and I. And I got a lot done, like cleaning, cooking, like we unpacked, organized everything from Christmas, set everything up that we needed to set up. And while that was great, it did not feel like a day off. And so I'm just excited that I'm taking Wednesday off and I can kind of relax for a bit in the new year, a little bit. Um, so looking forward to that for sure. All right, IJ. Hmm. Wow. All right. So, what's indicating to me, thank you, I speak. He said, I'm glad you're doing good. Good. And I love that for you. Thanks, friend. I hope you are too. Um, you're doing better, still going through some deep changes. Oh, I'm so happy. You're just a ray of sunshine, so you deserve good things. So, as we all know, Did everyone pre-order? There's not a single person on my list that pre-ordered Crow's Nest. Also, Lorraine, I added you to the list as well because you said that you were going to donate. So just letting you know that you're on there right now. We don't have any pre-orders, Crow's Nest. We're just working on IJ right now. So IJ, I know that like she can kind of become, she can fall prey to unwanted thoughts, okay? And what they're telling me is that when you guys interact, when you guys have conversations together, they dissolve for her. They create room for new opportunities and possibilities for her. And there's so much. Okay, Crow's Nest, I'll put you down next, okay? There's so many, like, so much magnetic and like passionate feelings around the two of you right now. Like, it feels like playful and seductive and sexy and passionate and like I don't know any other words, but basically that kind of stuff, that kind of thing. And I feel like she just like really likes getting immersed into these conversations that you have. And so like I don't know if they're kind of flirty, but she's feeling flirtation in some way through these conversations. There's like a lot of like messages about like magnetism and seduction and like really savoring, like it almost like you guys are sharing a meal or something, like, and you guys are really enjoying every single bite, every sip of wine. It's just like you're very present when it comes to your connection, and it's like the meal is so good you don't want to rush it, like you just want to just savor every single little bite. Okay, I'll take you off the list I speak, but I hope you have a good night. I hope you sleep well. Definitely hang for as long as you want to. And so I feel like she's saying like I don't want to rush it. I want to allow nature to take its course, but like she's enjoying like every interaction that you guys have. So like every conversation is like a bite, you know, of like the best meal she's ever had. Something feels very luxurious, very playful, very foreplay, very, I don't know, like there's just something here that just feels very good to her about your connection. And it's like she's definitely excited about every single thing. There's a passion ignited here. We're definitely in the like soulmate, twin flame, soul tie family. I'm not quite sure how you would identify, but I feel like you guys definitely have that. Like it feels like candlelit dinners and like romance and stuff. And so like, and when I say this, I don't necessarily mean like every conversation you have is sexy, okay? I mean that every conversation you have feels like it's part of a sexy dinner. Like some people think like intellect and having like important conversations is like one of the most attractive things you can do to connect with someone on a deeper level. So that's what I mean is it's just like imagine these conversations that you're having is like over a candlelit dinner with like the most amazing cut of meat you've ever had and maybe like seafood and I don't know, just like expensive shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm trying to say. I've been drinking like amazing wine or champagne and like there's aromas in the air and you guys are just talking for hours and hours and hours. Like that's what I mean is it feels like there's like a level of depth here in your connection and that's what she's feeling about you. That's wagyu. There you go. Look, you know all the fancy stuff. I don't. I don't. But that's what I mean. I just mean like she feels very like wined and dined by you. She feels very catered to. She feels very seen and heard. And maybe y'all are playing footsie under the table. I don't know. But you guys are creating this like foundation of just a lot of like flirting and connecting and This is such a important time at the beginning of a relationship. It's how you prime, you're priming your relationship like you're eating prime rib. It just feels like to me that it's just such an important time for your connection. And it's like people don't do this anymore. People just jump right into it. And there's not that savoring every single moment that you guys have together. The way in which you guys are doing it feels very, um, historic. It feels very old school, but in a good way. And I feel like she wants you to know that she's feeling the romance through conversation, and that she has like a lot of deep, deep feelings for you that are being formed right now. I love that you said, that she's filling your cup too. That makes me happy to hear, and I think that would make her happy to hear too, because as we all know, she does worry about it being too one-sided. You allow her to feel joyful in certain moments, regardless of her circumstances that she's currently in. I think you also help her to decipher what is in her control versus what is out of her control as well. It's almost like you can segment it, you can compartmentalize it. You can help her like to see through the things that you say, or maybe your perspective, like what are the things she should be worrying about because she can control it versus the things that she should honestly just be letting go because it's not in her realm of power. Like it's not something that she has any say in the outcome, at least right now. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I just pulled a cute little card and it says, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. No, love never claims, it simply allows and gives. And I feel like that's the perfect card for your connection, because you allow for closeness, but also understand when space is needed. Spirit, I feel like spirit's coming in indicating that there's a higher purpose to the way that things are sequencing in your life with her, in your connection. There's a higher purpose in the way in which it's happening, and that a blessing will soon be revealed. I think you actually, IJ, are a part of her manifestations. I don't know if she's going to tell you that, but I think you are. I think you're one of the manifestations she has in mind. One of the main things she's doing right now that she's like clearing the way or clearing the blocks so that way nothing can stop her manifestations from happening. And it's indicating to me that whether she realizes it or not, the end of the road leads to you. I do think that it's a conscious manifestation that you're a part of. I think it's something that she's consciously doing and saying and writing down. But I don't know if she knows that she's manifesting you specifically. Or but I think she has you in her mind, like that she kind of knows it might be you. So for example, she's manifesting a certain type of love, okay? And she's writing down all of the qualities that you are, but she may not be writing down, I want to manifest him, IJ, into my life. Like, I think she's just manifesting who you are. And she's not realizing, or maybe she kind of is, but not fully, that it's you at the end of the day. So just know that. Um, you're in that journal, or you will be. If you have any other questions for me, let me know. I'm happy to pull another card or two if you need anything clarified. Oh, she's in yours. That's so cute. Satiates or satisfies everything for you. You're very welcome, IJ. Have a good night, friend. Hope I'm doing well. Long time no talk. I know. I am doing well. Smiley, it's too late for yes no questions, but it's not too late for donations. Crow's Nest, I have seen you every once in a while, I feel, but like not, I don't think it's been recently. Like I'll see you on a story or something like that. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I wonder how she's doing. But I know I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have had good holidays. We have over here. It's been good. It's been very nice. You know, everyone hates on winter and I get it cuz like lots of dark, lots of cold. But I love the excuse to kind of hunker down in my home, all cozy like with candles and soup and hot chocolate and tea and Christmas tree lights. Like I don't know. I think each season is special and I love winter for it. Things are slow. Yeah. Human hibernation season. Definitely. Smiley, I have your donation. You'll be after James, okay? All right, what's coming in love in near future? Okay, I'm going to throw it out there. I feel very strongly that you have a admirer. I do not know if they are a secret admirer, meaning do you know it or do you not? I think you might have an idea potentially, but I do know that there's someone out here masquerading as a friend or a friend of a friend, could be an acquaintance, coworker, something like that, but there is someone here that has got massive crush feelings for you. Like they are definitely admiring you from afar. And I don't think that they have taken the chance to step forward yet. But there's like a major, I have a crush on you. I'm a secret admirer. Let's see. Is it an air sign? Is it an air sign? I'm getting a yes. Oh my God. Yes, I have 8 of Wands. Like this is like a complete green light. Do you know who this is? Libra that got a hold of you today. His name is Daniel. Would you put would you put Daniel in the friends category right now? Like friend of a friend, acquaintance, really someone that you don't really know super, super well. Or if you do know super well, it's not been on a romantic level yet. That's what it feels like to me. This person has not gotten the chance to be with you on a romantic level. He randomly asked you if you were looking for a husband or if you were seeing other people. Oh my God. You let him around Halloween at a party, but you met him. You met him around Halloween at a party. You just became acquaintances. You're not close to him. I think you need to just keep an eye on this person because here's the thing, Crowsnest. I don't think you lack admirers. I think it's very easy for you to attract other people of all different demographics, genders, everything. I might have already told you this, but I don't think you have a problem attracting people. I think it's attracting the right person slash attracting someone who's going to actually do something about it. I see this person. Well, let me see. Let me pull a couple extra cards here. I feel like this person wants to reunite with you, kind of fight for you a little bit. Yeah, crow's nest. Exactly. Exactly. It's easy for you to attract them. That's not your issue. Your issue is having like a good person actually come forward. I think this admirer, this Libra, Daniel, I think this person is coming for you, is what I'm going to say. I have here King of Pentacles energy, husband material. Thing about Libras, they say they're very romantic at heart, grand gesture, romantic. The Libras like to be in relationships. Any Libra I've ever known likes to be connected to someone. Now, there have been some Libras that I know definitely do the whole we're seeing each other, we don't have a title vibe, but I think deep down they're longing to find their person. And a lot of times Libras fall for the wrong people. But I think that when Libras set their sights on someone, that's it for them and that's game over for them. And so I think that's the one thing about Libras that are really good is that like once they feel like they found you, they're going to do everything they can to hold on to you for the rest of their life. Libras are just kind of fickle in the beginning. They don't really know what they want, but I do feel like this person has his sights are set on you. And I think they have been for a little while. Asking if you want a husband is very bold, if I may say so myself. Still looking for a husband, or if you're seeing other people, but I think this person may be coming forward. Really, really do. I think the thing about Libras is they, like I said, they can be kind of fickle in the beginning. They can be unsure about someone. It's like very easy for them to be like, I don't know about them, not quite sure. But I feel like what's been happening is this person, Daniel, has not been able to get you out of their mind since you guys met. And I don't know if you guys have any other mutual friends or if you guys have been able to connect anywhere outside of this, like social media. But regardless, I think that he has not been able to did he recently add you to social media? Like, I feel like why do I feel like this was him that like went out of his way to contact you? I feel like he's seeking you out is what I'm getting. Okay, there you go. There you go. So it wasn't necessarily recent. Recent I guess could be relative because technically it is recently. I mean, Halloween was 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago. So, yeah, but that's what I was feeling very strongly is that he's the one that was seeking you out. So he might have been in observation mode this whole time. Like he might have been kind of watching your social media, kind of like feeling you out, seeing who you were, that kind of vibe. But something tells me he's coming forward. Now, I think it is determined based on what it is that you have said to him in response to his question. Will let him know exactly how he should go about this. But I feel like you have definitely caught his eye, and I feel like he has his sights set on you and only you. And I feel like the thing is he doesn't want to miss out on an opportunity with you. And I feel like he feels like he's in this sweet spot right now where he feels like he can get lucky. And when I say get lucky, I don't mean like hook up. I just mean he feels like he's in a very lucky energy right now to approach you. Like he feels like if he communicates now, moving forward, things will go really well. He's observing. He's observing. A crow's nest, I'm telling you right now, this energy that I'm picking up on, he is fully falling. Like, I think he's fully admiring you and crushing out hard. And I think that he's the type of person that's going to be like, the second that I have the opportunity, it's on. It's on and it's over because he's coming through the King of Pentacles. And this is like a slow and steady wins the race. This is like a hunter, okay? A hunter will sit in a blind for hours and hours and hours. But once they feel they have their perfect shot, it's over. Like, that's what I feel he's doing right now. I think he is lying in wait. I think he's observing. I think he is playing the long game. I think he knows what he wants, and I think he's got his eyes set on you, to be honest. Do you know how much longer until school is over? Okay. Um, this is what I feel surrounding you in the near future is this person in what will we call him? We'll call him your secret admirer, even though it's not so secret. No, I think he's really into you. It's just he can only be into you in terms of what he knows. But I think he's liked everything he's seen so far. I think what really happened is the night you met, I think something happened there specifically. And I think every single thing that has happened since then, like what you're posting, what you're talking about, what you're sharing, just literally anything about you that he's learning, it's just adding to that excitement. But I feel like for him, it was kind of like magic a little bit. And then he was like, it's probably just the party talking or whatever. But I think that as time goes on, he's like, no, I can't get her out of my head. There might be something more to this. Don't He's gonna surprise you. I feel like this man is gonna completely catch you off guard. Like you might even get to the point where you're like, I don't know what Luna was talking about. Like he hasn't really made a move since then. A month may go by. You're gonna be like, I'm just gonna like let it go. But I think this person is gonna come out of nowhere. I really, really do. I think that this person's gonna completely surprise you. So just don't forget about this person, is what I'm saying. He's being cryptic. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I would just say let him do his thing. Let him go to school. Let him continue to watch you. Let him do his thing. Because I feel like there's no convincing that needs to be made. This man is very much into you. And so I think it's just a matter of honestly time before he feels like he can shoot his shot. Like imagine sorry. Imagine reaching out to someone and being like, "Hey, do you want a relationship still?" Oh, why am I asking? Oh, no reason. I was just hoping some dude was digging you down. God. Oh God. He legit said that. Then he's like, "Are you seeing other people?" And I lost it. Oh my God. Wow. That's so forward and crazy. I don't even know. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what to say to that. Honestly, it could be a little bit of social awkwardness, but it could also be that there's like a lot of attraction towards you. And do I think at this point he would be jealous if you were with someone else? No. But do I think that he is hoping that you'll say you're not with anyone? Yes, I do. It's like a cat came and laid a bird at your doorstep. What the fuck? Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that, honestly. I think you just have to let him do his thing. Like I said, there's not much convincing that's needed at all. So he's gonna shoot his shot when he feels like he has you in his sights, I guess. Um, all right. What will Hugo's next actions be towards me in the future? Hugo's Libra. Oh wow, okay. What will Hugo's next actions be towards Crow's Nest in the future? All right, so the cards that are coming through indicates that you guys have a history together. We have the Devil, Judgment, and Ten of Swords. So this indicates to me that things did not go as planned with this person, maybe, or there's been some kind of complication. Um, Objectively looking at this reading, not really knowing slash remembering anything about your connection with this person. I'm not sure if you've asked about them before. But objectively looking is like the devil indicates that there's some like issues, some personal issues that Hugo has. It can also indicate like potentially like the toxicity that they refuse to heal from. It can talk about blocks. So the devil is all of the very human traits, addictions, thought patterns, behaviors, conditioning, all of that that can stop us from being the best versions of ourselves and allowing us to pursue the things that we want to, because we're too busy focusing on or staying stuck in the negative realm. So that can be difficult. The reason why I usually think that someone has been around for a while or there's been this ongoing thing between two people when the judgment shows up is because the judgment basically talks that there's like a need for forgiveness in this connection. And someone needs to ask somebody for forgiveness. Like somebody did someone wrong. Or there's been a lot that like, because if you think about it, if you don't have a history with someone, why would you need forgiveness? Or why would they need your forgiveness if you don't have a history with someone? So it's like in order to get to the point of judgment, that's like there's been definitely history here because some clarity clearing the air, getting on the same page needs to happen. So clearly there's something that's gone on in the past that has gotten you to the point that you're at. And then we also have the Ten of Swords, which talks about like endings and defeat and betrayal. So I feel like there's definitely someone who got done dirty in this connection, someone who feels like they put their all into it and didn't really get much out of it. He said a month ago he wanted to pursue a relationship, then he didn't, then he did, and he randomly cut things off. He hurt you. Okay. Um all right, what are his actions towards her in the near future? What are his actions towards her? Dang. Like I'm hearing leaving you in the dark, like continuing to leave you in the dark. So we have the Two of Swords, which indicates being on the fence. The Two of Swords indicates no action. Like this person does not have any plan to take any action towards you. The Chariot in reverse is a lack of direction. And it also speaks to the obstacles previously that I mentioned that are blocking you guys from being together. We also have the Emperor, which indicates his stubbornness, his lack of discipline, his lack of control, which means to me that he has nothing to offer to you, that he has nothing right now to give to you to offer any kind of stability, and that he cannot offer consistency. This also talks about daddy issues, but take that or leave it if it resonates. And actions towards you in the near future, we have the Three of Swords, which is heartbreak, hurt, separation, division, sadness, unhappiness. I don't think this person has anything to offer you right now, Crow's Nest, really. So you sent him a Christmas card and he hasn't said anything. So Crow's Nest, I think that should be your last attempt, because if you send someone a Christmas card and they can't even shoot you a "oh my god, thank you for the card, that was so nice," you're done. Like I just don't think that's a sign of goodwill, good faith in his from his perspective. And I think that needs to be your last attempt. You're never reaching out again. Yeah. I definitely feel that's the right call. Hey, Melissa, you're more than welcome to donate if you would like to, but we are working on donations right now. We're not doing free reads at this time. Crow's Nest, did that answer all your questions, or would you like to add on? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Oh, you said you feel like you wasted on Hugo when you already knew the answer. But at the same time, that just is confirmation for you, and now you won't do that anymore. I got it. All right, what can I answer for you now? All right, so you said last question. What will Chris Leo next actions be towards you? All right, let's take a look. Okay, you have a history. Ooh, the tower. Mhm. Hey, Nessa, how are you? Hmm. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. So, whereas we were asking about Hugo in the last reading, that felt more like a lack of care for you, Crow's Nest, like more so a selfishness on his part. With Chris, it feels more like he does care about you and care about your well being. He just has no interest in like coming back together because he feels like it's not beneficial for you to be with him or something like that. Like, I feel like he feels what's done is done and it's in the past and it's for the best. And the reason I'm saying that is because I have the 9 of Cups that came out with the world. Hugo is a dick. So the 9 of Cups coming out with the world means that he is okay with how things ended in terms of like he feels it was for the best. He like because the 9 of Cups talks about like fulfillment. It talks about feeling like it is what it is and I'm okay with that. And then the world, it talks about like endings or things coming full circle or things coming to an end. So it's like he's okay with the fact that, you know, your guys' time is in the past. And it's almost like he's trying to move forward or move on, but he has affection for you. Like he wants the best for you. Like I'm getting that he looks at you with kinder eyes, more care for you, more yeah, just like more care for you versus this other energy I tapped in a few minutes ago. And I feel like he feels like he's not the best for you, and he feels like you wouldn't benefit from being with him because he's looking at himself as someone who doesn't really have much to give to you in the way of what you want. Like, I'm kind of hearing that if you wanted something different from him, he could make that work. But he's like, we're not compatible with our lifestyle or like goals or future desires or something like that. It's just like there's an incompatibility or something. Um I'm also getting like feelings like him traveling, him moving abroad, or maybe you are, or like there's some type of distance here, or distance will be created due to proximity. So I don't really know what that's about. Maybe he feels like he needs to go out and explore more. Maybe he feels like there's more that he needs to see, touch, feel, experience. And that's his goal or his desire. Maybe you guys just wanted different things. Because I'm hearing like we could just never get on the same page. Like that's what I'm getting, is that you guys could just never be in the same place at the same time wanting the same thing. And he feels like he would dim your light, or he would make your like he wouldn't be able to make you as happy or something as someone else could make you happy, because he feels like he would be a disappointment in some way. Like I feel wanderlust from him. I feel like this desire for him, he wants to see, explore, experience like other things. Yeah, Smiley, he donates. That's pretty consistent for him. Um James donates that much every time. So it takes a while for me to get through his readings. Can take, 30 to 40 minutes sometimes. Oh, hey, James. Um, you said he didn't want commitment. Yeah, that makes sense actually in hindsight, because he said we could never get on the same page. If she wanted something different, then I could have made that work. So maybe if you were okay with an open relationship, then he would be able to be with you more or something. But I feel like he felt like he was holding you back. Like that's what he felt. And the thing is, he never felt like you were asking him to be held back by what you wanted. He always felt like he'd be holding you back. It was never the other way around. So the tower is at the very beginning of your reading, which is indicates that you guys did not have the proper foundation to make this a long lasting like connection. Like the tower indicates that things were just going to fall apart. Like imagine if you're trying to build a house, and if you build a house the wrong way, it's just going to fall in on itself if it doesn't have the support and the structure that it needs. Um So it's essentially like your relationship didn't have the foundation that it needed. It was always going to collapse at some point. And, with that, it can still be rebuilt, but it would require you guys to have the proper tools, or you're just going to keep going around and around, and the collapse is just going to keep happening. And so the fact that you guys, like, let's just say you tried to rebuild now, he still thinks one way and you still think the other. And so nothing has really changed with either of your circumstances. And so it just was set up for failure to start. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have care for you, love for you. It doesn't mean that he doesn't want the best for you, wish you well. Doesn't and I think that he's saying like, I wish things could be different. Honestly, I think he would have liked to see things be different. But at the same time, he was never going to dim your light, and he was never going to hold you back, and he was never going to try to convince you to want something that you really didn't want. That just didn't seem like him, you know? Crow's Nest, does that answer all your questions? Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping in tonight. It was good talking to you. The only Leo woman that I love. You're very welcome. All right. Oh, it looks like you paid to Skip, Smiley. I have a donation, it looks like, to Skip. Okay. Yeah, she donated to Skip, James. It's okay. And then James, you'll be right afterwards. So Smiley, go ahead and post your question. Yeah, she's got a mini reading. Yeah, she paid to Skip. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, Smiley, we can add a couple cards to your reading. Let's just do that real quick. So go ahead and drop your question. Um, Instead of 5 cards, I'll pull a couple extra. It's all good. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and put a last call as well for anyone else. Love reading. Smiley, would you like to ask a specific question? Did you have someone in mind? Did you want a love spread? Or are we just doing a general love for you? Like open-ended, whatever spirit wants to come through, come through. Oh, you haven't talked to your last person in days. Okay. All right, let's pull some cards here. Yeah, I completely understand that. Hmm. Okay, so what's coming through about this person is the energy of the 6 of Wands, which indicates like failure or like your connection being at a disadvantage. Um, because maybe this person wasn't making you quite the priority that you needed to be, and that this is like at a defeat. I also have with the Page of Cups in reverse, that this is essentially just like a broken dream for you, like, and I'm using the term dream very loosely, like I'm not saying you put all your eggs in his basket or something like that, but I'm just saying like maybe you were building this up to be something, and then when he didn't come through for you, then it kind of just crushed that vision that you may have had or wanted for yourself. It feels like to me that your person wasn't really being an effective planner. Like, I don't think that this person was really planning for tomorrow or next week or next month with you. I think this person was just kind of taking things day by day and seeing how they were feeling, which says to me that this person was very loosely committed to you. Um, so that indicates that it would have been very hard to try to build a life with the way this energy is coming through. Yeah, no, I completely understand. So it's like this person kind of broke a dream for you. Um, or like maybe a plan. Maybe there was like, this person was filling a role for you, and you were like, I would like to see this continue. What can come from this? But this person just was very like nonchalant. Like, I don't feel like this, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if this person who was always this way or if they changed, but it's like this person got to a point where they were just like, I don't really care. Like, I'm not making this a priority. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And what I think that you need to have a satisfactory relationship is when both partners fight for the connection equally, when both partners want it, both partners are trying, both partners are making effort, both partners are choosing to choose each other. Like, so if you have someone that's kind of half in, half out, and the other person's trying to put all their all in, it's never going to work, you know? That yeah, that's why I was saying, I was like, I don't know if he's always been this way or if this is something that has changed. Um, so I see you being single, Smiley. Um, you're gonna need some time to get through this breakup. Smiley, I think maybe he wants you to beg him, but I'm not really getting that. I'm getting more like he wants you to put more into this than he is. Like, I don't know. I'm also getting like childhood issues specifically. So maybe there's some type of wounding that he has where he feels like, he needs to have someone prove their love to him or something because of maybe how something that's happened to him in his childhood. I don't really know what's up with this person, but it feels like to me, he just really wanted you to put more of the effort in. And like, that's not fair to you. Um, I don't think he cares enough, Smiley. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think he cares enough. I'm not saying that he doesn't care for you. I'm not saying he doesn't find you attractive. I'm not saying that he like hates you or something, but I'm saying I don't think he cares enough for this to be sustainable. Yeah, that's what it's giving, like he wants you to prove so much. Yes, 100%. Yes. That's what I'm picking up, is that he's wanting you to prove so much to him, but he's neglecting your part in this. He's looking at this as a one-sided relationship. He's looking at this, well, Smiley needs to prove to me, prove this, prove that, prove whatever. But he's not thinking to himself, what do I need to prove to her? And it's very hard to be in a relationship with someone who isn't of service. You need someone who's of service, okay? You need someone, I would argue acts of service is probably the highest percentage love language that there is, that you will be with the person for the rest of your life. Like, if someone's love language is of service, that's the highest success rate, in my opinion. I think anybody can give gifts. I think anybody can talk a good game. I think anybody can spend time with you, so on and so forth. But if someone wants to sacrifice themselves in order to serve you in your highest need, and then you are also an acts of service and you will nurture that other person and give to them as well, and there's this mutually beneficial of I do for you, you do for me, that is going to be the highest success rate, because what that saying is, I can put my ego aside and I can be of service to you because I want to satisfy you. And if you have two acts of service in a relationship, that's on like gangbusters. They're going to be together till the end. That's my personal opinion. And I think with your person, Smiley, I think your person is not an acts of service person. I think they want to receive love in that way. I think they want you to prove to them how much you love, care, etc. But they're not thinking about you and the neglect that they're, putting forth in this relationship. They're not catering to you. Yeah, I don't think so, Smiley. I really don't, because I don't think that he has enough care in this connection to do that for you. I really truly think, for your peace of mind, I think you need to walk away from this person. Because it's not sustainable. You're going to constantly feel, hey, Eliana, thank you. You're going to constantly feel like you're second fiddle. You're going to constantly feel like something is more important than you. His boys, his work, his friends, his mom, his whatever, his peace of mind, his quiet time, his video games, his like literally whatever it is, his dog, you're going to feel like second fiddle every single time with this type of personality, because he is always going to want that power dynamic. He's always going to want to feel like he's got you on the line and that you need to prove yourself to him. I'm not saying this person doesn't have the capacity to love and have feelings, but what I'm saying is that they're not functioning properly as a partner, as a couple, as a boyfriend, and you will not be satisfied in this relationship. So I have the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician here. So, and the Queen of Cups. So what they're saying to me, Smiley, is that you had everything you needed for this relationship to work. Okay? This isn't about you. This is about him, because you had everything. You had all the ingredients, You guys were making let's just say you guys were making a casserole together, okay? And you said, you bring some of the ingredients and I'll bring the rest of the ingredients. You showed up to that dinner with all the ingredients to make the casserole. And he just didn't, he showed up with one of the 5 things he needed to bring. And so how are you going to make a casserole together? I really don't think that it was anything that you did. I think it was his lack of effort, his lack of planning, his lack of like foresight and commitment. Like, he was very loosely committed to this. He wasn't willing to put in the effort, you know? And so as far as your love portion, I see you kind of being on the fence. To be honest, Smiley, I don't think you've given up on love, but I do see you kind of a little bit jaded and hurt. Um, and I think it's going to take a very incredible person to make you consider putting yourself back out there again, because I think that you're going to be just kind of sitting back for a while, um and not really wanting to put yourself out there. But the thing is, Smiley, is whether you guys had a mishap or not, and we have both women and men in this chat right now, and I know they all would agree with me. If they really wanted a relationship with you, if they really wanted to make it work, there's nothing that would stop them from making this happen. This person wouldn't let one little argument or one little disagreement come in between the whole of your connection. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody can have a disagreement, everybody can have an argument, but it's how you come through for it after the fact. Does that person show up trying to fight and work through it, or does that person allow that one disagreement to defeat them? And I think that your person that you were talking about would allow for something relatively small in the grand scheme of your relationship come in between your connection, because that requires effort, that requires energy. You said so many people in your inbox and you don't care to talk to them. He's the reason why you got this far holding it together. It was really, you were ready to break up. So, I mean, I don't know, Smiley. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I feel like he was just ready for it to be done. I think regardless of how things go down moving forward, the way that these cards are coming through, it doesn't indicate that it's a healthy connection for you either way. And I'm never going to tell someone that they should or shouldn't move on from someone, because maybe that's part of your own journey, your own mission, your own calling in life is to go through that. But I will say, when you've got this person out of your system, there is nothing and no one that's ever going to be able to make you want to be with them again. So you either have to make yourself move on from them, or you have to keep going around this hamster wheel with them until you finally are over it. And only you will be able to decide when that time comes. But if you want to get off the ride early, you can. That's your free will. I just don't think this is a sustainable connection. I don't think he's putting enough into it. And I think that's also making you feel like you can't trust him. And then, yeah. You did nothing wrong. It's not you, it's him. We meet people where they're not where we hope for them to be. Trust me, you're enough. Oh, that's such a sweet message. I love it. Definitely starting to feel like you can't trust him. I'm sorry, girl. In terms of you specifically, I feel like for you, you're just going to be kind of independent. for a little while. We had the Nine of Pentacles. I think Smiley, like I said, I think it's going to take someone that's going to rock your world. I think they're going to have to be a very incredible person for you to put yourself back out there again with someone new. But as you should. I don't think that you should risk your heart for anyone that's not being very transparent, very intentional from the beginning. You have your first date on Saturday. How will he feel? Ooh, I'm so excited for you. How will he feel when they meet? Oh my gosh, you know what card I have again? Remember that one where I had said that I feel like he is going to, well, it was kind of a dual reading because I had pulled the Ace of Pentacles and Judgment, I think it was, which made me know he is going to send an apology, which you confirmed. But I also, at the same time, had the Seven of Swords in reverse because I feel like he wanted to turn over a new leaf. Like, I feel like he wanted to start off on a good foot. And I have that card again where it's like he's wanting to kind of start over. He's hoping that this date will be a way for you guys to start fresh. So I think that whatever has happened up until this point was setting the stage, but I think that he's really hoping to make like amazing impression on you when you guys go on your date on Saturday. I feel like he is going to try to come off as authentic as he can, as genuine, sincere. I think that he's going to try to be very transparent with you, like be as honest as he can, even if it's like something embarrassing, or just like a funny anecdote about his life, or something like that. I feel like he just wants you to know the real him is what I'm getting. And I feel like his consciousness kicking in, like he really just wants to feel like he can just be himself in front of you and hope that you like what you see. You said so funny because you said he would take a little step back and he has been more calm. Today we texted here and there throughout the day and he asked me to call him after I was done with clients. Oh my gosh, you spent 3 hours on the phone. I love it. He's so easy to talk to. Oh my God, that makes me so happy. He likes your voice. I'm getting, but I also like, I think you like his energy. You might like his voice too, but I think that you like the energy that he exudes, is what it is. Like, he feels like a warm hug, someone you can kind of cuddle up and get close with. Whereas, like, for you, you interest him, like, mentally. You stimulate his mind, and I think he likes hearing you talk. But yeah. Yes, he likes your voice. Yeah. Definitely, definitely. And I'm saying, I'm not saying you don't like his voice. You probably like his voice, but I'm just saying, like, you feel, he just feels like a warm hug. Like, I don't know how to explain it. His voice just feels like you could cuddle up on a Sunday night and watch TV with his voice. Like, that's what I mean. I feel like I am in your head, actually. um, but yeah, so I think what he's really liking with these conversations you're having up until the date is that you guys, like I said, are setting the stage, whereas when he sees you in person, so actually something's telling me that these phone conversations are like really making him feel less nervous for your dates, interestingly. Like, he is going to be nervous to see you in person, but I think talking to you on the phone is like easy, putting him at ease. Yes, soothing, that's the perfect word. You do like his voice. He definitely feels like a warm hug. Yeah, his energy, that's what it is. You're very drawn to his energy. Um and so, and you need that, Eliana, I feel, because you are a mile a minute, girl. You're a mile a minute. You are multitasking. You got your own thoughts. You got your own, then you got other people's thoughts because you're an intuitive. And then you've got all your plans and all of your creative ideas and what's next, what's next, what's next. And I feel like he is a good balance for you in that regard. Um, But yeah, I feel like talking is putting him at ease. I hope it's putting you at ease too, but again, I'm tapping into his energy. So I feel like, wait. Okay, because for a second there, I was like, FaceTime calls, because I swear I told someone recently they were going to have some FaceTime calls with um someone, and I couldn't remember if it was you or not. And I just remembered it wasn't you, it was SB. But for some reason that came to mind. So I wonder if it'll shift to FaceTime for you guys. But yeah, so I think that he's getting more and more excited about your first date and a little bit less nervous, interestingly. Okay, I think it's going to evolve to FaceTime maybe after the date. Most likely after the date. Because I think that once you guys see each other face to face and hang out, it's going to be a little easier for him and you to have a FaceTime. But maybe he wants to hold off on that until he sees you in person. You told him you're an intuitive, and he was like, that's so unique. Oh, I love it. He's hyping you up already. Good, good, good. Okay, so when you guys meet, I feel like he doesn't want to, like, I feel like he's gonna just feel like drawn to you when you guys meet. Like, I feel like, oh my God, I'm saying like so much. I'm wondering if that's what you're gonna be doing when you're having a conversation with him. But I feel as though when you guys meet up together, he's going to be like subconsciously drawn to you, where he might accidentally like bump into you. Like, if you guys are walking next to each other, I'm getting that he might like accidentally bump in to you because his body, he's like magnetically drawn to your energy, and he might be like subconsciously wanting to be close to you. Oh, he says like a lot. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay. Well, I'm clearly tapping into the energy appropriately. I was just thinking, why am I saying like so much? It's crazy. He comes off super secure over text, but you can tell he's a bit timid. Yeah, that makes sense. That is so funny. But yeah, so like I see him wanting to be close to you, and I think it's like on an unconscious level. So he might do some impulsive things when you guys are together, not thinking them through. Like he might reach out and like touch your shoulder to like point at something. It's just going to feel very natural to him to like reach out and touch you. And it's not going to be until after the fact where he's like, "Wait, what? Like I didn't even what? Why did I do that?" So I feel like he feels like intrinsically, like involuntarily like reaching out to you, getting close to you, touching you in some way, and it's not until after the fact where he's like, wait, was that weird that I just did that? Because I didn't even think that through. Like, it just feels like his body moves before he thinks or something. Um, but yeah, so I'm getting that he likes what he sees. I'm getting that he feels very attracted to you. There's a hella strong attraction here. We have the Ace of Wands. So this is like new passion and excitement. He's like, I'm getting in the game. Like, not the game that you're a game, but like he just feels like he's getting back into it, back into the swing of it, back into the swing of dating, like talking to someone new, hanging out with someone new. And we also have the Three of Swords in reverse, which indicates that when the date is over, he's going to be like, thank God. Like, thank God we got that done and out of the way. Because the first dates can be really nerve wracking. And so I think that he's thinking, once I can get this done, then it's going to be smooth sailing from here on out. And it also indicates to me that whatever, I feel like as the date goes on, like whatever worries he was having, they're slowly like slipping away from him. So like, you might say something nice or compliment him, and there's a dagger that gets removed out of him. You might say, "Oh my God, you like that meal too? Me too." And he feels a commonality with you, and then that dagger comes out. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, I feel like he might walk in with like a couple, we're going to say daggers because it's the Three of Swords. And then every time you say something to put him at ease, or he makes you laugh, or something goes well, it's like, it keeps getting removed, and eventually he just becomes whole again at the end. And it indicates to me too that spending time with you makes him feel less lonely and makes him feel less depressed as well. So there's also that too, is that there's this comfort that you bring to him by being around you. I think he's going to tell you he has never met anyone like you before. He might even say that on his first date, on the first date. Like, I feel like he's going to just say, you just impress me. Like he feels like everything you do just like makes him so excited and makes him laugh, and he has a good time with you. And he'll just be like, I never met anybody like you before. And he's going to say it's a good thing. You just entertain him too. You must say really funny things. Super cute. He laughs a lot, but also makes you laugh a lot. Yeah, he likes making you laugh. That's for sure. I mean, I don't think I brought that example up. for nothing. I do think that he likes making you laugh. Is it mute? If you didn't hear me for a few minutes, I just probably wasn't talking. I was reading through the chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. Does that answer your question? Perfect. All right, girl. Well, if I don't see you tomorrow, hopefully you have a great new year. Bring it in right. Did you ever do the manifestation with the candle? I never got around to it, unfortunately. It's like every time I thought about it, I was in the shower and I was like, oh shoot, gotta do that. And then it'd be like at my sister's house. I'm like, oh shoot, gotta do that. And it's like I was always, every time I remembered, I was always somewhere where it was like I couldn't do it in that moment. And then I forgot. But it's a new moon tonight. You could always do like a New Year one that you make up yourself. But I'll remember it. I think this year it was just too late in the year, but next year I'll remember and I will definitely do it next year. All right, have a good night, girl. Good night. Mhm. James, if you're in here, feel free to let me know. I did send a message on Instagram as well to let you know I was working on it. We're pulling some cards now for you. All right, James. Not sure if you're in here or not, but I'm about to send you your channeling. All right, so she says, if you want to know how I'm doing okay. I'm in a better place than I was a few weeks ago. I'm not sitting around thinking about this, though. I think the way things happened was for the best. We aren't good for each other. We challenge each other. But at what point does that stop being constructive and start being toxic? As for you, I'm not sure where you're at. I'm not losing sleep over it. I wish you well, though. So, what I'm gathering from that and what she's putting towards the connection is that she's feeling, I guess, a bit indifferent. Um, let me pull the rest of your cards here. I think that she is thinking a little bit more clearly. She's definitely not afraid to speak her mind. She's holding firm boundaries. I think that she's learning from past experiences and she's approaching this as, emotionally distant, but also like, I understand this for what it is. I don't think that she wants to get sentimental about it. I don't think she wants to get nostalgic about it. I don't think that she wants to jump back in this matrix with you. I think she's holding her ground, whether she's consciously aware of it or not. I think that she's just trying to be indifferent. I think she's trying not to have much of an opinion about it. I think she's trying not to dwell in this at all. Um, I think that she doesn't want this to ever happen again. I know that for sure. I think that, she had always been looking for an out, so to speak, with you. And I think that it came. And I think that when we are, as she mentioned, challenging each other, at what point does it stop being constructive and start being toxic? And I think for her, it felt like it was getting toxic. And she's not going to speak on behalf of you. But I think from your perspective, you were trying to be constructive and she was not accepting your construction and therefore it felt toxic to her. I think that's what we can assemble from all of these broken pieces. Um, I think that there were parts of herself over the course of the last year that would question if she was doing the right thing or if she was going about things the right way. But I don't think that she really, really was introspective. I think it was all very surface level. And I think whenever she hit a nerve, whenever she thought about something that might require some reflection on her part, she just put it out of sight, out of mind. She's definitely coming through thinking that she's going to maintain her distance and be like withdrawn from you right now. I feel like if I were to get into Patty's head and I were to say, does she know what went wrong? I would say unconsciously, yes. I would say she knows that she drove you to a certain point and she could have been more clear with you. And I think that that's probably like 40% that she was like, maybe I just wasn't clear enough. But I think there's a majority, if not half, if not majority, then half at least, where she felt that no matter what she did, no matter what she said, no matter how she came across, no matter how mean she was to you, you were never going to quote unquote get the picture. You would always have pushed this like narrative that you guys would be together at a certain point. Again, I'm paraphrasing from my channeling from her perspective. She is not really owning up to the accountability of the fact that she was kind of like throwing some bait out there and she's not acknowledging that. She's only acknowledging, guys, Bodhi, get off of him. She's only acknowledging, hold on. She's only acknowledging what she's just acknowledging her like your responsibility in this. Like you should have figured it out. You should have figured out that she didn't want to be with you and da 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 da. Like she's not really acknowledging what it was that she was doing to make you think that there was a chance. And that's on her, but these are the things that are going on in her mind, is that she thinks that no matter what she did, no matter what she said, no matter how mean or nice or rude or whatever she was to you, if she was continuing communication from her perspective, if she was continuing communication with you, you would have always thought there was a chance that you guys would be together. And like, that's just what she thinks. That's truly, truly how she feels. I think that this was enough closure for her at this time. I don't think that she's in a position where she feels like she needs to rehash anything. Cody, go. Go somewhere else. She doesn't feel like she needs any kind of clarity, any kind of conversation. I think truly she just does not want to put herself back in the position where you guys were at. And I think that that's really what she's thinking, feeling, and intending. She's got a lot of emotional baggage. She views this connection as more negative than it is positive. And that's really unfortunate because I think that you guys really could have had something fairly profound. If it wasn't romantic, you guys still could have at least like helped each other along your own personal individual journeys if you guys were both open to constructive criticism. Because, you know, maybe for the longest time, maybe you felt like it was either going to be all or nothing with her from your perspective. But I at least think she could have learned from you, you know. I think she could have at least learned from you. And she chose not to. So, you know, that's on her, unfortunately. That's her loss. Where am I? Only blocks or influences is that there may be lingering frustrations or hurt from the fallout that you guys had that she hasn't fully processed yet. The burden of this or the expectations that you put on her is preventing her from being able to fully let go or move forward. I think that she needs to allow herself to process it. She's doing everything she can to not think about this. That I think it's actually going to hinder her in the long term. I think she should be processing it right now. And I think she's putting it out of her mind. And yeah, the overall energy, she's just not in any rush to dive back in. It's just a time of her like being in her own space, being in her own peace. And yeah, that's what it feels like. Her reaction to you dating someone else. You know, I was talking about how I feel like she's not processed this. She's kind of hindering herself because she's unwilling to really look at things. But I feel like if she finds out that you're dating someone else, if she finds out that you have moved on, first of all, her initial ego is going to say this is a joke. This must be a joke. Because he was just confessing his love for me like a month ago. Like that's what she's going to say. That's her ego. That's her first gut instinct. Like her first knee-jerk reaction is to be like, wow, what a joke. Because she's not going to believe either. She's going to think you're a liar either way. She's going to think either you were lying to her and you really didn't have those strong feelings for her and you were just trying to pull a fast one, or you did have feelings for her and bless this new soul that you're dating because clearly you're just trying to get over her and she's just a rebound. So however you look at it, she's going to think it's laughable. However, I do think that there will be more respect on your name, on your relationship. The more that this goes on, I think that she will start to realize that this is more substantial than what she initially thought. And I do think that there will be more respect for your relationship, and she will see that, like, how compatible you are. She will see that, wow, there's actually somebody that like wants to be with James in a way that he wanted to be with me, and like, good for him. And I think that she will be okay with it. Now, the reason why I think it's going to be phases is because she's going to have a lot of feelings, and she's not going to really know how to process each individual one. She's going to only focus on one emotion at a time. I do think there's going to be a section of this as well where she's going to feel free of you because you're preoccupied elsewhere, and that you're no longer pursuing her. And then she's going to have the opportunity to sit with actually how she feels for you, because there's no pressure coming from your direction to be in a relationship with her. And when I say pressure, I don't mean you were pressuring her. I'm just saying that the spotlight isn't on her anymore. So she's not going to feel that spotlight anymore. Your affections are redirected elsewhere. Therefore, it really gives her the appropriate time to sit and reflect on how she actually truly feels for you. Because now that she can't have you, now that you're with someone else, there's no threat to her well-being, and she can just actually process this appropriately. And I think that it's going to allow her that opportunity to process what went down, what happened to you guys, the ultimate fallout that led to final separation, and you moving on to someone else and you exploring a connection elsewhere. And I think that that's where things are going to really start to like come down. Like, I think that's where all her guards are going to start to come down, and she's going to really process this. Now, that is probably going to be like an underlying thing from start to finish. But I think that there's also going to be like cycles in between. Hold on one second. So yeah, so underneath it all, when she starts to realize that you're serious with someone else, this will allow her to start coming undone and allowing her to start processing what happened between you guys. I think she's so used to having a defense up at all times that she's feeling this like, I need to be on defense. I need to be on defense. Imagine if someone always needs to be on alert, on high alert, and finally they don't need to be on high alert anymore. And then it's like takes a while for them to kind of allow themselves to relax and regulate their nervous system. So she always felt like she had to be on a high alert with you, because she was like, is he going to come for me? Is he going to try to kiss me? Is he going to try to hold my hand? Is he going to tell me he loves me? Is he going to tell me he hates me? Is he going to try to fight with me? I feel like every single time you guys had an interaction, she was ready for a fight. You know what I mean? So I think that once she realizes that your attention is being redirected elsewhere, I think underneath it all, underneath the surface, the underlying energy is she will have time that she needs to process everything that happened between you guys. On the surface, I think it's going to be, this is a joke. And then eventually it's going to get to be more believable, and there will be more respect there, and be like, okay, maybe it is more serious than I originally thought. And as she's processing these underlying feelings while these surface feelings are happening, there could be a time where she is feeling a little bit jealous. She's feeling a little bit sad that she didn't give this the opportunity that she should have. But that's on her, and it's going to be a while before that time comes. So you might not even care at that point. But yeah, that's what I've got for that. Let me shuffle for your other question. And by the way, I love these new questions. I gotta say, it gives me so much like energy when I'm answering something new. So I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, last question for James. Why did she not move forward romantically? So the first thing that I'm seeing is that you weren't, not only were you not what she was looking for at the time, more importantly, she wasn't looking for anything. So I think that that's the first thing we got to look at, is the fact that she wasn't looking for a relationship, number one. And then subsequently, if she was looking for a relationship, you weren't the type of person she was looking for. This has to do with her own inner wounding. This has nothing to do, and it's no reflection of who you are as a person. It has to do with the fact that she still has lessons in this life to learn. That's why I think she's got karma coming for her. That is why I think that she has someone coming in that now she's going to be super obsessed with, that isn't really going to give her the time of day. And that karma is going to play itself out. I think that she's the type of person that needs her own space. I think that unless she is absolutely head over heels, obsessed, in love, hysterically infatuated with someone, I truly just don't think Patty wants to be in a relationship. I think she needs to feel those endorphins. I think she needs to feel like this person makes her high. I think she wants it all. She wants like this over consuming, all consuming, all compelling obsessional love. Like that's what she wants to feel with someone. And if she doesn't feel that with someone, then it's not going to work. So, and think about how rare that feeling is. That's not a common feeling. Like an all-consuming obsession. I mean, yes, there are people who can be obsessed, but I'm talking about like this feeling where you just injected drugs into your veins kind of love. Like that's not, you don't really feel that very often. You think you do, but you don't. Um, and most of the time, if not all the time, it's not good for you to feel that way about someone. So I think that's what she was looking for. And I think because you were steady and sure and consistent and healthy, you just weren't fitting the mold. So not only was she not looking for love, period, she wasn't looking for a relationship, period, she also wasn't looking for a relationship with your type, your archetype. She would be looking somewhere else. I also think there's a lot that she still wants to figure out about herself emotionally. I think she's a little bit curious and questioning in terms of the types of relationships she's looking for. I think she could be into open relationships, and that may not be your speed. So like for instance, she may have said, okay, I'll be with you, but I also want to be with other people. Are you cool with that? You would have said no. She knows you very well. She knows you would have wanted an exclusive monogamous relationship. So it's like, not only was she wasn't looking, but if she was looking, it wasn't with someone like you. And if it was with someone like you, she knew that what she was looking for in terms of a relationship wasn't what you wanted, and she wanted something else. So it's like there was a lot of incompatibility overall. Um, and, when it came down to it, I think that there was fear there. I think that she was scared of really falling for someone deeply, truly, and losing them potentially. And I think that this is the easier break for her. I mean, at least this way she broke up with you and she didn't fall in love with you. Like that's to her a better outcome than falling in love with you and something happening, whether that's through death or a breakup, either way. So I think truly I don't know. I just think she wasn't in it for whatever reason. She was guarding her heart and she wasn't feeling it. And she still had other shit in her life that she still has to process and she still has to go through. And I just don't think that this would allow her to pursue a romantic relationship with you. Romantic relationships require effort, which she wasn't willing to give, emotional work, which she wasn't willing to provide. There could also have been like a lot of history with you guys, which would make it hard for her to picture a connection or a relationship with you. Just because maybe there could have been like some things that you've said or some things you've done maybe that have hurt her or rubbed her the wrong way. and this kind of just like put you in the no box for her. Like, we don't truly know like what was going on in her mind, but I think that this was like all these things I'm saying is just compounding as to all the reasons why. And I think then also I think Patty's just a negative person, and I think that she would try to find and nitpick every little thing that she could to not be with someone. I think like she would just constantly keep tally of like all of the things that you're doing that wouldn't make you suitable for her, because she wanted to look for excuses everywhere she could. And if you want an excuse not to do something, you're always going to find it. So I think for her, it just was like all of those things combined. I don't think there's a specific finger I could put on anything to say why it wasn't working between you guys. And like, clearly you're a desirable person. You are with a great girl, and like, she wants to be with you. So it's like, it's clearly very much a Patty situation. I don't know if this helps clear things up. I don't know if it makes it harder to accept. I don't know if it's just what the fuck ever for you, but that is what I've got. Thank you for your patience. I know we had a couple skips tonight, so I appreciate you being patient with that. I think that's everybody. So I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it a night. James, just get back to me whenever you can, and I hope the rest of you guys have a great night. I will be on for New Year's Eve in terms of like a live stream, but it probably won't be a very long one. But I will be offering free reads, so I can at least guarantee that. So catch me tomorrow if you can. And once I know exactly when I'll be going live, I'll try to give as much notice as I can in advance. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your night. Bye, everyone.